welcome to the Chester. Good morning. Welcome to the new Chester Early Childhood Learning Academy and another exciting day for Chesterfield County Public Schools. And I am honored and humbled to be chosen as the principal for Chesterfield County Public Schools' first ever Early Childhood Learning Center. I am appreciative of everyone who's taking time out of their busy schedules to join us here, either in person or through the school division's online video production, to celebrate this momentous day for preschool education in Chesterfield County. During my time with Chesterfield County Public Schools and elsewhere, I've worked in a number of elementary school settings. Working as a teacher and as an administrator, I have seen the needs of our youngest learners. This building and this effort have been desperately needed in Chesterfield for years. I want to thank everyone here today who played a role in turning this into a reality. My team and I sincerely appreciate the support of everyone who has gotten us to this point. Superintendent Dr. Merv Daugherty and his leadership team, the school board, the Board of Supervisors, for providing us the space and the resources necessary to return this facility to an educational setting. The more than 50 or so departments and companies that have turned this project around in a matter of months. And those partners and potential partners who have joined us here today to learn more about our work. In several short months, this building will be full with more than 400 students. They will be smiling, learning, and loving education. What a great way to jumpstart their futures. The formative years of a child's education are in our elementary schools. For some, they will, as they will hear, these formative years in public education will start as early as 3 and 4 years old. A child's early years are the foundation for their future development, providing a strong base for lifelong learning and learning abilities, including cognitive and social development. Well-established research continues to emphasize the importance of early childhood education as an essential building block of a child's future success. I am sure that our supporters from the state here with us today will have more on this shortly. Before we cut the ribbon and get into our new school to see what awaits our youngest learners, we do have a brief program here today. We have several key supporters of preschool education, and they will be here to speak about the importance of this work. Ms. Pamela Northam, the First Lady of the Commonwealth of Virginia. Jenna Conway, the Chief School Readiness Officer for the Commonwealth of Virginia. And following these state leaders will be Ann Coker, Vice Chair of the School Board and its Bermuda District Representative. Jim Ingle, the Bermuda District Representative on the Chesterfield County Board of Supervisors. And Dr. Merv Daugherty, Superintendent of Chesterfield County Public Schools. Ms. Northam and Ms. Conway, thank you so much for joining us here today, and welcome to the Chester Early Childhood Learning Academy. Ms. Northam and then Ms. Conway.
Don't go anywhere.
Oh,
I've got something for you.
oh, thank you.
True principal. She's making sure everything is safe. Thank you, beautiful. So I just have a small gift for Principal Harris, and it's called I Knew You Could Do It. So here for your library. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, good morning, Chesterfield Early Learning Center. Don't you love hearing that? It is so great to be here today. In fact, I was just telling someone that I'm supposed to be on my way out of town, But when I found out about this a few days ago, I said, stop everything. I'm dropping everything and coming here because this means so much to me and to all of us. So thank you so much, Principal Harris, for inviting me to be a part of such a special celebration today. We are so proud and so grateful to all the folks here in Chesterfield who had the courage, the vision, and the persistence to make this dream a reality. Thanks to all of you who've taken the time to join us to celebrate the importance of early childhood today. To celebrate the children who will be here, who make it so easy to understand why we are all here today. It's such a magical time, full of wonder and the joy of discovery, when we can help to ignite the spark of curiosity and lifelong learning. You know, the governor and I, as parents and as medical professionals, learned a long time ago, especially when our kids could outsmart us by the time they were 2. We've learned that critical time in those first few years when the brain grows, 90% of that brain development is formed before a child even steps foot into kindergarten. So of course, excuse me, pollen always gets me. So of course we made early childhood care and education a top priority for our administration from day one. I'm so sorry. So I've traveled over 8,000 miles across the Commonwealth, listening to our educators, our local officials and advocates. We were able to take what we learned, and working with our friends in the General Assembly, we were able to pass transformational legislation and put more money into the budget for early education than ever before. Now we're so excited to see the support for our littlest learners is growing across the board, from President Biden's major announcement this week to great school divisions like this one. And I just want to take a moment to actually recognize our wonderful elected officials. Will you all please stand? As I would love to name you all, but just please stand. We just are so grateful for you today. Thank you so very much. We appreciate your service for the Commonwealth. It's clear that a great start in life is critical to all children, and yet 40%, almost half of Virginia's children, enter kindergarten without all the skills they need to succeed in school and beyond. And today, over 70%, and I want to say that again, over 70% of 3-year-olds in disadvantaged households do not have access. Nearly a quarter of 4-year-olds do not have access to quality early learning opportunities. You all know this has been such a difficult year for families, and because of this pandemic, we are seeing the largest drop in literacy skills among kindergartners that we have ever seen before. Our teachers are reporting grave concerns about social and emotional development for our littlest learners. However, if there's one thing we know about children, it is that they are resilient. And if we intervene now, we can plant the seeds of hope. This is the most important investment we can make in our future. With support from our superhero educators and school divisions like Chesterfield making these types of investments, we can get families back to work and our economy back on track. We hope to see more facilities like this one across Chesterfield County and across the entire Commonwealth. So you guys are setting a standard here, my friends. In the past 3 years, Virginia has made nearly $100 million in new early childhood investments, and the governor has dedicated nearly $300 million in additional federal emergency funding to early learning in just this past year. This has allowed us to provide help to more families by nearly doubling the income eligibility limit for affordable child care access now. For example, a single parent with one child earning $60,000 a year or a family of 4 earning $89,000 is now eligible for more hope during these difficult times. So we need your help today. Are you ready? This is what I ask the students. Are you all good helpers out there? I know you are. Please help us get the word out, because we only have a few months. Please tell anyone you know with children not yet in kindergarten to visit commonhelp.virginia.gov or their local social services office to apply for quality, affordable childcare and education between now and July 31st. So get busy. Finally, I want to say thank you to our teachers and to all school personnel for supporting students' safe return to the classroom. We know it has not been easy, but your care and dedication, your courage and creativity is so inspiring. You are my heroes, and you truly hold the future in your hands. And thank you all so very much. I so appreciate you all and allowing me to be part of this. And I just want to give a little invitation to our next speaker here, because without her, none of our work in early childhood could have happened. And we invited her down, up from Louisiana. She had just had a baby, had 2 children already. And I called her up and said, "Don't you want a job?" And she said, what? But we hounded her to death, and she's here today. And because of her, we are all here today. And I thank her so very much. Please help me welcome Jenna Conway.
Good morning. Well, that's not a very enthusiastic. This is a 4-year-old center, okay? We might have to get out some blocks and Legos to get everybody talking. Good morning. I'm Jenna Conway. I'm Virginia's Chief School Readiness Officer. I'm originally from Charlottesville, but was working in Louisiana when the Northams were elected, and I said, strong-armed me into coming up and really working with them. They said to me at the initial interview, we believe in the potential of every child, and that every child in the Commonwealth has the capability to come to school ready. But we, as the adults in the system, don't necessarily guarantee that opportunity for every child. And as a result, as First Lady Northam noted, too many of our children come into kindergarten without the literacy, math, social, and self-regulation skills that they need to be successful, right? It's kindergarten. It's supposed to be your first day of school. In reality, too many of our kids are starting behind. I am so excited. After traveling for many of the 8,000 miles with the First Lady across the state, oftentimes we get to school, looks like this, and we have to walk to the far reaches of the building to find the VPI classroom, right? Like, it's often sort of furthest, inadvertently the last thought of, and so that I can't think of anything more exciting than coming and knowing that every single square foot of this space is dedicated to 3- and 4-year-olds. That we have a phenomenal principal like Miss Harris, who all she's thinking about when she wakes up into the morning, when she goes to sleep at night, is how do I support little learners, right? And that's huge, right? Oftentimes our elementary school principals have to do with a pretty wide age band, and this place and everything, I can guarantee you, don't try to use those bathrooms, right? Like, everything in there is geared for little learners, and that's huge, right? For these little learners who are just embarking on their pre-K through 12 experience for their families, right? That's oftentimes your first child, that's your first interaction with the school system, and to have it be such a positive, little learner-focused experience is incredible. So huge thank you to the Superintendent, Board of Supervisors, and for making your little learners a priority. I promise you, as Ms. Harris noted, this will pay off. You might not see it immediately, but when you look at kids who are come in ahead or on track, they're more likely to get to 3rd grade on level for reading and math and to be successful in the classroom. And quite frankly, I think the first thank yous you'll get, Superintendent, will be from your kindergarten teachers, right, who will say, I can tell which of these kids were little seahorses, right? The kids who came in, who know how to sort of sit down, get along with their peers, share the blocks, right? There's only one set of magnetile blocks or one set of markers, and those kids who had the opportunity to be here, you'll see it across all of the 12 elementary schools that feed into this incredible center. So again, it will pay dividends. And I hope that Chesterfield doesn't stop here. We know, as Miss Northam noted, that we have too many 4-year-olds and far more 3-year-olds who don't have the opportunity to come here. We're doing our work at the state level. I see state senators and state representatives to get more funding to our communities. We know we need investments in terms of local matches. We know we're going to need to bring on more teachers and get the word out there. We know some of our families are afraid to come back, right? And it's going to take all of us to bring preschool back. We saw the largest single drops in preschool, and we will see the after effects of that if we don't kind of come together and build places like this. I can imagine if Ms. Harris, we're talking with a parent tomorrow. She said, I can guarantee I will keep your baby safe, right? And that is absolutely our families, particularly some of our most vulnerable families, top priority. And so just really excited as you are bringing kids back, bringing programs back, that you're doing it in a place focused on little learners. And I hope to be able to come out here in the future and open more of these centers right across until every last 3- and 4-year-old who's at risk of not coming to kindergarten ready has a place to go. So huge thank you, Superintendent. And with that, thank you everybody who went into this, and let me turn it over, I believe, to the Superintendent. Oh, no, I'm sorry, who's next? To the chair board, the school board chair. Thank you.
Please join me in thanking Mrs. Northam and Ms. Conway for joining us here today. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here and celebrate this day with us. And you have an open invitation to come to CECLA and visit us anytime. And now Ms. Coker.
Good morning. Good morning. Such a beautiful day here today in Bermuda. This is truly a great day for the Bermuda District and for all of Chesterfield County. We are truly honored to have the First Lady of Virginia and the State Chief School Readiness Officer join us here today. It speaks to the importance of this initiative. As Ms. Harris said, I'm Ann Coker, and I have the honor of representing the Bermuda District in which we stand today. We have been waiting for today since the superintendent proposed his initiative back in October of 2020 and can't wait for the first day of school on August 23rd. The Chesterfield County School Board approved the creation of our Early Childhood Academy in November of 2020. This unified pre-kindergarten center will serve students from 12 elementary schools in the eastern and southern portions of Chesterfield County. All 10 of the elementary schools in the Bermuda District will be served. 6 short months after our vote, record time, here we are, poised to take a look inside as we imagine tomorrow for our students and staff. On behalf of the school board, I want to welcome and acknowledge some of the important guests we have here today. We have with us from the Commonwealth of Virginia, State Senator Gonzalo Hashmi, and State Superintendent of Public Instruction, Dr. James Lane. We have with us from the Chesterfield County Board of Supervisors, Chair Jim Holland from the Dale District, and Jim Ingle from the Bermuda District, who you will hear from shortly. Is Chris? Okay. And Chesterfield County Administrator, Dr. Joe Casey. I'd also like to recognize my school board colleagues, Chair Ryan Harder from the Matoaka District, Dot Heffron from the Clover Hill District, and Catherine Haynes from the Midlothian District. I also want to acknowledge and welcome some of the partners here today who are and will be helping us through this journey, as we know that this is much more than just a school. Thanks to the community support, we will also be able to offer families before and after school opportunities that might fit their needs. Welcome Josh Green, the Vice President of Youth Development for the Greater Richmond YMCA. Jennifer Benton, a Relationship Servicing Specialist from Town Bank. And Dr. Tyron Frazier, the Executive Director of Chesterfield Education Foundation. I also want to thank and acknowledge some of our outstanding principals whose schools will feed into the Early Childhood Learning Academy. So all of my principals that will feed this academy, will you please stand at this time? This is what happens when we all work together to serve students. I appreciate the superintendent's vision and his willingness to guide us in this direction. And I appreciate the school board's willingness to support this initiative. I appreciate the county government and the Board of Supervisors' willingness to work with us to determine a viable use for this renovated school. This is about meeting the needs of all of our students. Buildings like this are a necessity for our entire community. And yes, we are receiving questions about when we will open other preschool centers around the county. There is an unmet demand for our pre-kindergarten services in Chesterfield County. CCPS currently serves 987 pre-kindergarten students. Our pre-kindergarten enrollment has increased by 46% over 5 years. Initiatives like this have us thinking about the day when we don't have a wait list for our pre-kindergarten services, because all students are being served. Thank you for joining us today. We appreciate your continued support. And next, I would like to introduce and welcome my Bermuda District partner, Board of Supervisors member, Jim Ingle.
Thank you, Ann, and good morning. Good morning. On behalf of the Chesterfield County Board of Supervisors, I too would like to thank everyone for coming out today to help us celebrate opening this new pre-kindergarten center right here in Chester. Others this morning will or have talked about the need for this new center and the academic benefits that we believe will be derived from this building. However, I want to take a few minutes to focus on the efficient and effective use of the resources that our taxpayers have entrusted us. Earlier this school year, we celebrated the opening of the new Harrogate Elementary, a project just down the street that was funded with the 2013 school bond referendum, that we were able to use some of the money that was from that referendum to be able to complete this project. That left this 60-year-old building without a real purpose. Doesn't look 60 years old today. What a remarkable job that's been done in a short period of time. I remember the day we walked through the school to imagine what we were going to do here, and it didn't look like this. So as we pondered what to do, the resounding answer from the educators was a preschool center that could prepare students for a successful K-12 experience. This decision, though, did not just benefit this particular school or the students who will be served here. Providing pre-K services in a single location frees up classroom space in nearby elementary schools. As we heard, 12 schools will feed this building, and that can free up as many as 40 to 50 classrooms in the other schools. I think that's definitely going to help with some of the other situations that we've had, in some cases making space available in other elementary schools to balance enrollment capacity without the need to redistrict, adjust boundary lines, or disrupt family lives. Identifying a service location has also freed up operational space within each existing school for anticipated kindergarten growth, those students who decided to wait a year to enter school due to COVID. At some schools, this decision may reduce the reliance on the use of classroom trailers to house students. It may also save on school construction costs down the line as well. Therefore, as a businessman, I see the benefits from an academic viewpoint and an operational standpoint. It's a win-win for the school division and for the county. Funds for this project, again, came through the savings from the 2013 school bond referendum. And I want to thank our community for entrusting the school board and the board of supervisors with the resources necessary so we could prepare students to succeed in their K-12 experience. Next, I'd like to introduce Dr. Merv Daugherty, Superintendent of Chesterfield County Public Schools. Thank you.
I think we've thanked everybody. I'm excited to get in the building, to tell you the truth. I've been sharing this opportunity with everyone, so it proves my point that we can work together. Dr. Casey, thank you. Dr. Lane, thank you for your help. First Lady, thank you. But we're forgetting some people that I want to recognize right now who made this happen. And so we have an award that we give out every month called the Game Changer. And the Game Changer recognizes outstanding. We do about 20 a month. We have 10,000 employees. They're nominated by people around. We love to go out. The board members and I love to go out to recognize them, but they never know who it's going to be. It's always a surprise. So there are 3 people that we're going to recognize right now for Game Changers who were, without them, this would have never happened. You figure, less than 6 months during the pandemic, we created a new school. So Kathy Silva, would you please come? I'll get in trouble later. But Kathy, when we first started, the first person I spoke with, Scott, correct? I said, I need to talk to Kathy. I said, she's a firm believer that I believe timelines are important, and she's fantastic. Also, who helped her, Chase Smith. Chase, come on down. Thank you, sir. Thank you. This was not a 9-to-5 job. I know they were here Sunday. I know they were here. I was here Saturday. I'm particularly proud of the project, making sure we were okay. But also the person who really helps direct our construction project, Scott Carson. Scott, come on. Thank you. Just guys, thank you so much for your support. You're going to be very impressed as we go in. And you know, you hate to say that and you'd be disappointed. You will not be disappointed when you walk into this building. And Josh is like a proud papa here. You know, I think everything I was supposed to say in my notes that prepared were already stated. I really want you to in the building. I want you to see what's like. We have a map for you to show you some things. But we're excited when the students come in. We're opening it now, so our parents have a chance to come and see the building. Registration, we're pushing hard. And I've already been asked by just about everybody here, where's the next location? I think, you know, the board entrusted me with this opportunity to lead. I thank them for the opportunity. I thank them that I have the privilege of being a superintendent. But they also know me, so does my staff, that this wasn't going to be the only one. I like thinking outside the box, and I'm a gambler, and we gambled on this one, and we're going to keep doing that because it's what's best for our kids, not what's best for anything else but our kids. And as long as we keep that option in mind, the goal for this school is to talk to Principal Harris. I would like our goal to be our children are reading the book by the time they leave this school, and so that's our goal. So I'm excited about this opportunity. I think we are going to see a lot go on here. But think about what happens 5-6 years from now as these children leave here. Their reading proficiency before they get to 3rd grade, and we keep pushing our students to be greater academic, and also think of the social emotional wellness that's occurring from this school. There's going to be playgrounds everywhere. That's important. There's also going to be learning centers outside. They're going to get their hands dirty. They're going to learn about how nature works, and they're going to be interactive just by walking them down the hallways, as you will be stimulated by learning your fish, your letters, and your numbers. So, Dr. Harris, I want to turn it over to you. I want to get inside. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Daugherty. So here we are, the moment that we've been waiting for. The official ribbon cutting and open house for our new pre-K center. The first of its kind in Chesterfield County, but certainly won't be the last. We will ask our dignitaries to join us up front in a minute, but I want to quickly explain the next few series of events. After our special guests come forward to help cut the ribbon, we invite you all in for a quick walkthrough of our renovated facility. You will see bright new colors and even brighter LED lights, new flooring and ceiling throughout much of the school, and fun, engaging wall wraps that will allow our youngest learners to have fun while they're in school. We will only see parts of the building today. Other parts are quickly being addressed before students return in 3 or so months. I too want to thank our awesome construction team and all of the partners who've been involved in this effort. Much progress has been made, and we can't wait to show off the final product to our 400 and plus students in late August. Please tour the building at your leisure using the map that you will be provided as you enter. We will have staff members along the way to help guide you through the building. After the quick tour through the building, we will exit back out these doors where you will receive a bottle of water, a package of cookies, a package of goldfish crackers, and Chester Early Childhood Learning Academy face mask to remind you of the time that you've spent here today with us. Thank you again for joining us here today, and in person and online. And with that, let's cut the ribbon.